Alright, the title says it all, people. At first, I was a bit confused with the whole situation, but with more research, I'm like, now I see why. But I could be wrong. But anyways, uh, there's several reasons why WWE, or I guess TKO in this sense, is doing budget cuts and how people feel that is greedy. Because at first, didn't TKO announce that because of their whole advertisement they've been doing, they're still doing advertisement. They made about like 1.6 billion on their thing, right? And they say, oh well, the reason why we have more money now because of the spring cleaning, because we haven't used these wrestlers in quite some time. And I still ask myself, what's the point of adding these wrestlers if one, you're not even going to use them, especially for those who are in the product right now. I mean, some could be a contender, some could be a main eventer, and then there's others be like, thanks, no thanks, but goodbye. So I find that wild. But anyways, the whole thing with the budget cut was the whole spring cleaning, such as the White Six, Kyrie Sane, Aleister Black, Selena Vega, so on and so forth. And then the other thing is profitability versus budget cuts. Because since merging with UFC, their main focus is maximizing shareholder values, right? So even if the company is rich, they look at the other roster and ask, is this person providing a high return on what we paid them? And I feel that's why they felt the way they felt with Kofi and Xavier Woods. And then we get to the whole contract restriction, which is like a new and controversial trend this year, involving WWE asking their superstars to renegotiate existing contracts and pretty much to get lower pay. So if the talent refuses, then they're often being released or allowed to walk away, which is what we see when it came to Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. That, in my opinion, is wild. Straight up wild. Like, imagine acting like your local employee, especially that have been there for years. And then they're like, oh, well, we're just going to kick you off the curb, so therefore we can please our shareholders and make more money with advertisement. That is crazy. But then again, it explains why we have more celebrities than freaking wrestlers these days in the WWE. But anyways, wrestlers, I think some said that no one felt safe regarding of how popular they are, or I guess how well they perform, because at the end of the day, the decisions are being made by executives looking at the spreadsheet rather than the creative potential. So that's why people feel that they're being greedy, because it's not that WWE is out of money, it's the fact that they're changing of how they spend things. So they can cut the middle class, per se, of the roster to keep profit margins high and satisfy the investors. And anyone that's just been employed, they just be like, thanks, but no thanks, but goodbye. They just kick you off the curve, and that's crazy. But back to the whole Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods situation. So, excuse me, oh my God, I thought I was gonna sneeze. My bad. So even though they were both out of there, right? This wasn't a standard firing, right? Where they always say, oh, it's their future endeavor, and it was a high stake contract dispute, some crap like that, right? It was the whole pay cut situation. So since the New Day had to restructure the contracts, they had to sign, well, they actually did sign last year. Essentially, the company asked them to take a substantial amount of pay out of their cut. And that is crazy. You know what? I'll probably talk about that in another video.